I have tremendous respect for both the people of Greenland and the people of Denmark, tremendous respect. But every NATO ally has an obligation to be able to defend their own territory. And the fact is, no nation or group of nations is in any position to be able to secure Greenland other than the United States.
Welcome back. That was President Trump earlier today speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos. As we said, hours later, the president saying the U.S. has now formed the framework for a deal on Greenland. Joining me now for more on the congressional reaction to the president's speech is Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz of Florida. He serves on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. So let me just get your reaction to the day's developments and what the president says is now a framework of a deal on Greenland.
Well, obviously, look, it's a good U-turn. Everyone's happy that, the president backed down earlier this morning about troops and then, now obviously has backed down. The bond market is undefeated, as it turns out. And so I think that's good news. Now, obviously, I think, look, there's aspects of the fact we want to prevent China and Russia, from getting more control of the Arctic. So there are some real implications for what's going on here. But the president did it, in my opinion, all the wrong way. He said we're getting everything we wanted under this deal. I mean, we're getting everything we wanted but for Greenland. When you draw a circle, no matter where you start, you wind up at the same place. So look, Canada's not the 51st state, and Greenland is not part of America.
To that point, do you think there is some damage that has been done that cannot be undone? You heard some of the speeches from European leaders, from the Canadian Prime Minister, really forceful words saying effectively that they're not going to be bullied.
Yeah, no, I think there was some damage done. The question is how long, that'll last, who knows. We'll move on to the next international issue. But clearly, this round did not go to the United States.
Given that you're on the Foreign Affairs Committee, what did you make of the speech overall and the fact that you now have Canada saying that it is looking to do a trade deal with China?
Yeah, huge problem. I saw Macron's comments also talking about China. Now, whether they're now trying to play tough with us and everyone's now jockeying for position, we'll see. This is, gamesmanship on the world stage. Obviously, that's the opposite effect of what we want, is to try to push people into China's arms because we don't look like a rational actor. And so, that's something I'm concerned about. We'll have to see how that turns out.
Let me ask you about some comments that President Trump made today about a domestic situation. He said that people will soon be prosecuted for their role in what he called the, quote, rigged 2020 election. What was your reaction to that? What do you make of that?
Well, I'm glad he's moved on, right? That's always good. Even though he's president again, right? I'm glad he's moved on to them. I don't know. Today we heard that we were going to balance the $38 trillion debt off of the back of Minnesota, right? And so he says a lot of things. I don't know what it means. Sometimes nobody knows what it means. But, we'll have to see. Obviously, there's no one that needs to be prosecuted. This went in front of, several dozen judges. They said nothing was wrong, nothing was stolen. And the president really needs to move on for this.
Does it concern you, though, that there could be more, at least, investigations coming?
Oh, of course.
You take him seriously.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I take the president very seriously. I know sometimes he tacos, right? But, on other stuff, he doesn't. And so when that taco is going to happen, you never know. Look, you got Lisa Cook in front of the Supreme Court, right? You got Jerome Powell getting stuff from DOJ, right? You got, a number of people that are getting letters from DOJ. They say they're going after the folks in Minnesota now. And so, no. We got to take the president at his word and then see what happens.
All right, let's shift to what's happening on Capitol Hill. Obviously, government funding runs out in a few weeks now. It seems like there's a deal coming together that would fund DHS. It does include some of the changes that Democrats were calling for, but certainly not all of them. Are you, at this point in time, preparing to vote yes on this piece of legislation? Yeah,
so I'm going to vote for the first part of the minibus, but I'm a no vote on DHS. But I'm a no vote on DHS for lots of reasons. I'm the only former emergency management director in Congress, and we don't talk about it a lot because we didn't have we haven't had a big disaster. But Kristi Noem has absolutely decimated FEMA. And so the idea of giving her more money, she's gotten $22 billion in the last CR. None of that money is moving. There are red states that are owed billions of dollars. Florida's owed $2.6 billion. None of that money is moving, and so I don't know why they would need new money. They got $170 billion in the big, beautiful bill. Congress has no idea how much money is left. I thought Republicans cared about spending in DOGE, remember that whole thing? And now they're asking for more money when we don't know how much they have. And so, look, if they need a supplemental because they run out of money, they can come to Congress for a supplemental, but I'm not interested in giving them more money.
Could DHS shut down for a period of time, though?
There's no evidence of that. They've not made that case. There's no evidence of that.
What do you say, though, to your colleagues who say, look, we're just coming off of the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. Let's not hold up more funding to parts of the government. Let's vote yes. What do you say to that?
I don't want to shut down the government. So I'm not interested in shutting down the government. But there's no evidence that if they don't get this additional funding that would happen. They've not made that argument, and there's no evidence that it would be. I mean, I think $170 billion plus the money they got in the fiscal year for 2025. Yeah. And so she's got plenty of money, the secretary, right? And she's destroying government as it is, right? Shrinking departments, firing people. There's no evidence that she needs any more money.
Let me ask you more broadly about the midterms. I just cited this poll with the panel. One of the headwinds looming over Democrats heading to the midterms, a recent CBS poll finding that 42% of voters say they don't have much confidence in congressional Democrats to effectively oppose Trump on issues they disagree with. What do you make of those numbers, and how do you combat them?
Well, look, Congress's approval rating in general is what, like 13%?
So you're not surprised?
I'm not surprised. I mean, we've earned it. We've worked really hard, by the way. No, we've earned it. Congress has done this to themselves.
How do you turn it around, though? How, as a Democrat, what's your message to other Democrats for how to turn it around?
Well, listen, we got to get Hakeem Jeffries the gavel. For the base that's upset that we haven't done enough, give Hakeem Jeffries the gavel, and they will get what they're looking for. But as Congress is an institution, Democrats and Republicans continue to take power away from ourselves and give it to the executive branch. We do that when we have full power. Republicans are doing it now. Democrats did it under Joe Biden. And so when we weaken the branch, when it's time to then for the minority party to use power, there's no power to use.
So what's the strategy? Is it, do you think, focusing on affordability on the campaign trail? Is it the Epstein files? Is it a counterweight to Trump? What should the message and strategy?
It should be all about affordability and health care. We should talk all about affordability and health care. Notice how when affordability was in the news and health care was news, that's when Donald Trump started talking about Greenland. He's a master at making sure that we take misdirection and we take the bait every time. We got to stay focused on affordability and health care.
Okay. Congressman Moskowitz, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.